But yeah, just again, just walking and talking, walking and talking. Another day, right? Yeah, just today was okay in terms of how I was feeling. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it was probably a little bit better than yesterday, but not by much. Like I said, let's see, how it goes as we keep on walking right now. This is my PRP update for day. What is this? What day is this? 19? 19. It should be 19 or whatever the title says. But yeah, just no big noticeable difference this past week, I would say, except for that in the morning, my crackling on my left side is not like extremely stiff. It still cracks, but as I progress throughout the day, but not in the morning. So that's something I noticed. So I don't know if that's progress or not. But yeah, like right now, still feel the same pain, like same pain on my neck, on both sides. But like I said, it could be just my right side trying to compensate for my left side. And yeah, just dealing with the struggle of the pain, the struggle of not knowing if it's gonna work or not. But yeah, hopefully another day we keep doing our thing and we progress. We progress every day. Take it day by day. That is something I noticed right after my injections, that I kind of like it did alleviate some of the pain, but hopefully it gets better in a couple of weeks. Tomorrow I have my appointment with my primary care, and yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna let her know to do some X-rays and blood work because I'm concerned about my health in terms of everything else. I can't really exercise like I used to, so diabetes is a big concern of mine. And yeah, let's see how my blood work's looking. That's why we have to keep walking around and moving as much as possible, even though I don't want to. Well, it's not that I don't want to. It's really hard from the pain, but we have to try, right? Also, I was worried about being anemic. Like I said before, I had heart palpitations, so I don't know. I want to get that checked out. Quiet night. Yeah, at least today I went to tutor somebody for math. That was fun. Like I said, like those little things for me mean a lot to me, just for to see people and like just not being stuck in my house mentally. So I really like doing that when I'm able to, because sometimes the pain's so bad that I can't. So we'll see. Like yesterday, I was scared that I wasn't gonna be able to, just because it was pretty painful, my headache, but it was better today in the morning and afternoon. So I'm glad that went well. Yeah, let me just re-say that. Yeah, when I was doing math and dancing, I was rather obsessive about it, but I feel like it wasn't the right kind of obsession. I just wanted to be like good at it, right? Good at it, and didn't want to make mistakes. But when I was in grad school, I was definitely felt like I had this type of ego, which wasn't right. It wasn't, it wasn't healthy. It really messed me up. And I think, I think dancing actually helped me, because when I started dancing, I just wanted, just practice, practice, and practice, got better, better, better. But that too, right? I had the same ego, right? Like I wanted to be good and stuff like that. Oh, like I'm better than you. But eventually, I don't know, it hinders you in terms of enjoying what you're doing and like the process of learning. So, uh, yeah, eventually, I mean, I still, we all have a certain amount of ego, but I feel like eventually it got better, and I started to enjoy more of the process of messing up. Like, yes, I could be, you could be good at something and stuff like that, and you could feel self-conscious. You mess up on little things, basic, math things, or basic whatever you do, right, for work, basic things. But yeah, I don't know. I was like, oh, I enjoyed just doing stuff and helping people out. And yeah, but it's funny because sometimes you don't know what your actions, how your actions influence other people. Like, I remember, especially from dance, my first very few times dancing. Like, I remember like the rejections. I remember the bad interactions I had since when I started. Right, and to be honest, like I said, maybe I was inappropriate or I was doing certain things that were weird when I was partner dancing. Right, like I get it. I was learning. That wasn't my intent to like be grinding on people and stuff like that. But I feel like sometimes those occasions that I remember, that I didn't do anything wrong, right? Like I know I didn't do anything wrong in terms of like misbehaving or being like offensive. I'm just tilted. Yeah. So like those things I will probably remember for the rest of my life, which is not a bad thing, just things happen in life. But like when I'm like trying to interact with new people that are like dancing or like, trying to learn something new and I kind of know what to do, just let them know. Oh, like you do it like this, you do it like this, and then, especially like if it's like in a class setting, even social dancing, it's it just depends on the setting, right? Like I usually don't correct people at all. We're just chilling, we're just having a good time. If they ask me about it, then yeah, go for it, right? I'll give them whatever I think it's right or wrong, But we just like dancing. That's it, just having a good time. But yeah, at some point for sure, I felt like when I started, I was very just trying to get better, right? Trying to get better. So I would do these things that weren't like necessarily fun. I would just do them just to like to learn if I could do this lead in terms of can I lead this pattern, can I lead this turn and stuff like that. And for a while I did that, right? But I was also so self-conscious, right? Because I'm like, I know my partner's not having a good time because it's something difficult for her or it could be me, right? I could be not leading it correctly. So, it's like something I had in my mind. And, for me, I just kind of, thought about it. I'll do it from time to time. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It depends who I'm, dancing with too. If it's somebody I know, then yeah, could I give it another shot, right? And things like that. But yeah, this kind of affects your ego and how you perceive, at least how I perceive how good I was in either dancing or math or whatever I was doing or work or whatever, to how not good of a human being I am. But yeah, in a way, you're my value as a human being, right? That's how I would think about it. Like, oh, you're better dancer, better mathematician, better at your work. I would be like, oh yeah, it's like, oh, like you're badass, like like people want to be your friend and stuff like that. But in some way, yeah, it does have some like influence in that. But I feel like that's a toxic mindset to have in the long term, because what if something happens and you can't do it, or kind of it shouldn't totally define you as a person, because I know it does define you to some degree. It's like, oh, you're like doing this and you're like doing that. It does play a part in your life, or it could be playing a large part in your life, but it shouldn't completely take over your life. And I think that's an issue that I had in general, when I get obsessive about something, I just go all in, and which is good if you want to learn quick and you want to progress. But like I said, it could definitely hinder your life in other aspects. And I don't know. Sometimes it's a good thing. I would say probably when I was younger, if I would have just controlled that better, I would have actually progressed way more in my mathematical career than if I would have just been completely obsessive. Having a little bit more balance, I think, in my part. For me, I was like, oh, just do math, get better at math and stuff like that. But at some point, I was just mentally, I would say I probably was semi-depressed, just from everything, the stress. So I feel like if I included other aspects of what being a mathematician was, interacting with people, just talking, meeting with people, interacting outside of the lab, then I think I would have maybe done better. Would have done better and maybe even pursued a PhD. But yeah, now that we finished our little one lab, my pain stable, better than yesterday. My vision better than yesterday. So I don't know. It's not a bad night to walk for me. So like I said, hopefully this treatment does its thing. If I could get, like I said, 50, 80, man, if I get 80%, fuck, I'll be so happy. 80, 90%. Fucking happy as hell. But yeah, I do hope you guys got something out of my little talk, and yeah, well, see you guys tomorrow for another walk and talk. And yeah, keep you guys posted on my PRP treatment, my cervical PRP treatment.